Close your eyes. Take a breath. Not to fix anything. Not to become anything. Just to remember that right now, in this moment, you are here. And that is enough. Tonight is not about forcing peace. It's about discovering the peace that's been waiting beneath everything you've been carrying. Because the weight you feel isn't always from what happened. Sometimes it's from trying to hold on to what's already trying to leave. Before we begin, make a quiet promise to yourself. You can whisper it, think it, or simply feel it. Tonight, I choose to soften, I release what no longer serves me, I trust what remains. Let that settle into your body. This isn't just words. This is permission. Permission to finally stop carrying what was never yours to hold. Let's begin. The garden you've been carrying. There's a garden inside you. You've been tending it for years. Watering it with worry. Pruning it with control. Checking every leaf, every stem, making sure nothing grows wrong. Making sure everything looks the way you planned. But here's what you've forgotten. Gardens don't grow from control. They grow from trust. Buddhist wisdom teaches this gently. You are not the gardener trying to force blooms. You are the soil. And the soil doesn't push. It receives. It allows. It creates the conditions for growth, and then it steps back. Think about where you've been forcing. Where you've been gripping the stems so tightly they can't breathe. Maybe it's a relationship you're trying to hold together. Maybe it's a version of yourself you think you should be by now. Maybe it's a plan that keeps changing no matter how hard you try to fix it. The garden doesn't punish itself when seasons change. It doesn't panic when leaves fall. It understands that growth isn't linear. That sometimes things must die back before they can return stronger. So tonight, let yourself be soil instead of gardener. Let yourself receive instead of force. Say quietly, I do not need to control every outcome, I trust the seasons of my life. Breathe that in. Feel where your body has been tight from trying. And with each exhale, let that tension drain into the earth beneath you. There's a pattern you've been weaving your whole life. Made of beliefs, expectations, identities. Threads you picked up from parents, teachers, the world around you. Some you chose consciously. Most you didn't. And for years you've been trying to make this pattern perfect. Straight lines. No mistakes. No loose ends. But life keeps pulling at the threads. And instead of letting them unravel naturally, you've been holding on, stitching faster, trying to keep everything together. This is where Buddhist practice whispers something radical. Let the pattern change. You are not betraying yourself by letting go of old patterns. You're honoring who you're becoming. The thread that breaks isn't a failure. It's an opening. A space where something new can finally emerge. Maybe it's the pattern of always saying yes when you mean no. Maybe it's the belief that you have to be strong for everyone. Maybe it's the story that your worth depends on achievement, on being liked, on never making mistakes. These patterns served you once. They protected you when you needed protection. But now they're keeping you small. So feel for the threads. Where are you still holding patterns that no longer fit? Where are you stitching yourself into a shape that doesn't feel true anymore? And gently, without judgment, begin to loosen your grip. Say softly, I release patterns that no longer serve me, I trust what wants to emerge. The unraveling isn't chaos. It's liberation. And what remains after the old patterns fall away is the truest version of you. The one that was waiting beneath all that careful stitching. Imagine you've been walking with stones in your pockets. Heavy ones. You picked them up along the way, one by one, and now you don't even notice them anymore. They've just become part of how you move through the world. But tonight, we're going to name them. Because you can't release what you don't acknowledge. The first stone is other people's disappointment. You've been carrying the weight of how they might feel if you choose differently. If you set boundaries. If you follow your truth instead of their expectations. But here's what the Dharma teaches: their disappointment is not your stone to carry. Everyone carries their own. And when you try to carry theirs too, you don't help them. You just exhaust yourself. The second stone is the person you thought you'd be by now. The timeline you missed. The life that looks different from what you imagined. The stone is heavy because it's made of comparison. And comparison is a thief. It steals your present by telling you it's not enough. But you are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what you're learning right now. The third stone is the need to be understood. You've been carrying this one for so long, explaining yourself, justifying, proving. But the truth is, not everyone will understand. And that's okay. Your peace doesn't depend on their comprehension. The fourth stone is the fear of losing control. This one is the heaviest. Because you've believed that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But what if the opposite is true? What if holding on so tightly is what's breaking things? Feel these stones in your pockets. Feel how they've been weighing you down. And now, one by one, imagine setting them down. Not throwing them with anger. Not dropping them with resentment. Just gently placing them on the ground beside you. Say with each stone, "This is not mine to carry, I set it down with love." Feel your body become lighter. Feel your breath come easier. You were never meant to carry all of this. You were meant to walk freely. There's a river inside you. It knows how to flow. It knows how to move around obstacles. It knows how to carve its path without destroying itself in the process. But somewhere along the way, you learned to be a dam instead. To hold everything in. To control the current. To make sure nothing flowed in the wrong direction. And now you're tired. Not from the river itself, but from trying to stop it. Buddhist practice doesn't ask you to stop the flow. It asks you to trust it. When anger rises, the dam tries to hold it back. But the river says, let it move through, feel it, name it, let it teach you something, and then let it go. When sadness comes, the dam tries to hide it. But the river says, this too is sacred, this too has wisdom, don't push it away, let it wash through you. When joy arrives, the dam tries to capture it, to make it last forever. But the river says, enjoy this, fully, completely, and then release it, because trying to hold joy is what turns it into anxiety. The river doesn't fear its own nature. It doesn't apologize for flowing. It simply moves with clarity, with purpose, with trust. So tonight, stop being the dam. Let yourself be the river again. Feel where you've been holding back. Where you've been controlling the current. And with each breath, imagine the dam dissolving. Not collapsing violently, just softening. Allowing. Say quietly, I trust my own flow, I don't need to control what moves through me. And notice what happens. Notice how the pressure releases. How the energy that was stuck begins to move again. How you begin to feel alive instead of managed. Most of your suffering doesn't happen in reality. It happens in the space between thoughts. In the stories you tell yourself about what's happening. Someone doesn't text back and you create a story. They're upset with me, I said something wrong. They don't care. A plan changes and you create a story. This always happens. Nothing ever works out. I'm not meant to have this. You feel anxious and you create a story. Something is wrong with me, I should be past this. Everyone else has it together. But what if you stopped creating stories? What if you just met the moment as it is? The Buddhist practice of mindfulness isn't about stopping thoughts. It's about noticing the space between them. That quiet gap where reality exists without interpretation. In that space, a text is just a text. Not evidence of rejection. Just, not here yet. In that space, a change is just a change. Not proof of failure. Just, life moving. In that space, anxiety is just a sensation. Not a sign of something wrong. Just, energy moving through your body. The more you rest in that space, the less power the stories have. You begin to see them for what they are, habits of mind. Old patterns. Not truth. Tonight, practice noticing the gap between one thought and the next. Between the inhale and the exhale. Between the story and the silence. Rest there. Even for a second. And feel how much lighter reality is without all the interpretation. Say softly, I don't need to believe every story my mind tells me. I can rest in what's real. And breathe into that space. Let it expand. Let it become your refuge. The moon doesn't try to be the sun. It doesn't apologize for its softness. It doesn't force its light on anyone. It simply glows. Steady. Constant. Present. And that's enough. You've been trying to be the sun. Bright. Loud. Proving your worth with intensity. But what if your natural light is more like moonlight? Gentle. Subtle. Enough. Buddhist wisdom teaches that striving isn't strength. Presence is. You don't need to burn brighter to matter. You don't need to do more to be worthy. You don't need to prove anything to deserve peace. Your worth isn't conditional. It's inherent. Like the moon, you don't create your light by trying. You simply reflect what's already there. So stop pushing. Stop performing. Stop trying to be more than you are. Just glow. Quietly. Steadily. Softly. Let your presence be your power. Let your calm be your strength. Let your authenticity be your light. Say with confidence, I don't need to be more, I am already enough, my presence is my gift. And rest in that. Feel how much energy you've spent trying to be brighter. And let it all go. Let yourself be exactly as you are. The world doesn't need another sun. It needs your moonlight. Soft, steady, and true. Throughout this journey tonight, you'll notice your mind wandering. It will drift to tomorrow's worries, to yesterday's regrets, to the list of things undone. And every time it does, you have a choice. You can follow it. Get lost in the spiral. Or you can return. This is the practice. Not perfection. Returning. The breath is your anchor. When the mind wanders, the breath says, come back, you're safe here. When the thoughts get loud, the breath says, you don't have to solve everything right now, just breathe. When the body tenses, the breath says, soften, let go, trust. Returning isn't failure. It's the practice. And every time you return, you're training your mind that it doesn't have to be trapped in the noise. That there's always a way back to peace. So as we move deeper into rest, remember, you can always come back to the breath. To this moment. To the stillness beneath everything. Say gently, I can always return, peace is always here, waiting. You've walked through gardens and rivers tonight. Through threads and stones. Through moonlight and silence. And with each step, you've been releasing. Softening. Trusting. The weight you carried into this moment is lighter now. Not because everything is solved, but because you've stopped trying to carry what was never yours. As you drift into sleep, let these final words settle into your being. You don't need to control the outcome to be at peace. You don't need to be understood to be whole. You don't need to hold everything together to be strong. You are enough, right now, as you are. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Let your mind stop working. Let the night hold you. And know that tomorrow you'll wake softer, lighter, more free. Because tonight you chose to let go. Sleep well. You've earned this rest.